Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz and I'm here with Derek Brown from Calgary, Canada. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you might have seen the ads for the Pauper Underground Jackpot series done by Derek and I believe Covey, right?
That's right.
Out of Calgary. They want to be the place for Pauper in Canada. So as part of the Jackpot series, they had leagues going in the LGSs, if I'm not mistaken. Those fed into a finals series with 24 invited players, 5 rounds, cut to top 8. We're going to check out the top 4, so one of the semifinals and then the finals match. Do some live commentary of it so that we can have a little bit of paper action and highlight some of the people from around the globe getting their Pauper action on. So welcome, Derek.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I mean, it's very exciting for our kind of little small town. I guess Calgary isn't really a small town, but the Pauper scene certainly feels small town there.
Yeah.
But getting to show off our stuff on the big stage is kind of the goal here. And I mean, it hasn't. It won't be the last one that Kobe's thrown around that we want to be like the Paupergeddon of Canada at some point. But that's still a little ways in the future.
We want to be so popular that Paupergeddon wants to be the Calgary of Italy.
Totally.
Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/Kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. So how long was this series leading up to this?
So yeah, I believe this was about, I want to say like 10 or 12 weeks, with 3 participating stores, so 3 events per week, so around like 30 or so events to get points here. So this tournament features kind of Calgary's best and brightest. Only the top 24 point earners from the 10-week season were able to qualify for this invitational.
Very
So yeah,
nice.
as you said, we have one of our top 4 matches coming up, and then we have the finals as well. I happen to be in, so
We're looking
I'm very
forward to
proud of my
that.
performance. Yeah.
So
Hopefully, I don't make too many mistakes that I realize after the fact that I missed lethal and I could have won.
yeah. So the first one we're going to check out is Rocky versus Ben, and we have
Mhm.
Rocky's deck list here. This is, what did you call it?
Yeah, so
Clownfinity?
Rocky calls it azorius Clownfinity. This is a brew that he's been working on. Rocky is kind of a local home brewer. You can't really find a place with one of the meta decks. He's always got to be making something. And his decks either always contain Steel Fin Whale or Clowning Around. Clowning Around is a sorcery. He's got a 4 over there. It's from the Infinity set. Unfortunately, not available on Magic Online, so you can't actually play this deck on Magic Online. This is a paper exclusive deck. This card is fun because it creates at minimum 2 white clown robot artifact creature tokens, and then you roll a dice, and if you roll a number equal to or lower than the number of these tokens, you get an extra one. So
So
sometimes it's 2 mana make 2, or 2 mana make 3.
once you get more clowns, it's just going to be making tons. Or I
Exactly.
guess
Yeah.
there's
Once you kind of
always
land the
3.
first one, the second one is almost guaranteed to give you 3. And then it kind of snowballs from there if you happen to draw a bunch. But the rest of the deck contains, I mean, some of your standard affinity pieces.
Yeah,
We got like Thoughtcast. We got
it
maybe
looks very
Thoughtcast
similar
is
to
a
like the Glitters Affinity with Metallic Rebuke. There's a lot of counter spells in the
correct.
main deck. Resculpt is, a funny text piece. I actually
Hmm
lost
hmm
to a player playing a similar list with Resculpt. He killed me when I was playing Eggs and I had a Cryogen Relic on the table. I was at 0. They got to Resculpt my Cryo
Okay,
for lethal. But they're going to
that's
go
pretty sweet.
wide and play Ornithopters into a Chocomogue. Do they have another pump spell? It just looks like just the Chocomogue. And then they've got the Lux Knight
Yes, this
Breacher as
is
their
kind of a
main
mix
beater.
of go wide, go tall. So Rocky's got like Ardent Recruit for sometimes the turn 1 1 mana 3/3. He's got the Novice Inspectors. He's got Ornithopters for just some free artifacts. Therapy Inspectors make an artifact. And then he goes tall either in the form of Gear Seeker Serpent or a new card from Edge of Eternities, the Lux Knight Breacher. I guess all that glitters at home.
We haven't seen too much of this just because it's a big dumb guy and it costs 4 mana. But if you are playing
Yeah.
Springleaf Drum, it can be a little bit easier to get it out. I don't.
Mhm, mhm.
Gilded Pinions creates a treasure token. That's kind of neat. So you can maybe put this out on turn 3 or turn 2 if you have some sort of crazy nut draw, like
That's
Springleaf
correct.
Drum,
Yeah.
Ornithopter, Springleaf Drum, or something like that. That'd be
Mhm,
powerful.
mhm.
And this
Yeah,
thing
there's definitely some very
enters.
strong fast openers,
This
but
thing does
yeah.
not grow with the changes and artifacts. It just enters at whatever. So you want to
Yeah.
put it on when there's something good. And the other deck is Elves. Looks to be a stock mono green Elves. They're playing the Gingerbread Cabin in the main, which is a forest that gives you a food. And then the
Mhm.
sideboard looks pretty stock as well with the Glamour, Fairy Macabre. Monstrous Emergence is new tech for Elves to be able to kill a creature. It's basically their own version of Cast Down because you have
Yes.
your um, Avenging Hunter and your Genersent, so you're likely to have one of those in hand, blast something. And then if you don't have those in hand, you could just pump up a creature with Timberwatch Elf or Nyxborn Hydra to make it pretty large. Then
Mhm,
they've looks
mhm.
like they're playing Pulsum Rasa, which I'm not sure if that's stock. They have Spinewood Paladins for life gain and V2 Gaussian Spectre. It's funny because Elves' sideboard is pretty much just how do I beat red at this point. And
Yeah, how do
whenever
I
I
not
play
die?
red, if I face into Elves, it's just hilariously good matchup for red. So you got to
Yeah, like
give
I'm
it
not
to
sure
the
if
Elves
Well
players.
Wisher is generally a main deck pick, but he's got two Well Wishers
That's
in the
true.
main as well. Because we've got a pretty there's certainly a lot of players in Calgary that play either some combination of Rakdos Madness or like Red Madness.
Hmm.
So this could be more of a like Calgary tech piece, especially with the sideboard with how many cards gain him life in here. It's clear that he's kind of teched for the one matchup that he's going to one hit a lot and also isn't super great for elves in the first place.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah.
Start it right up. So Rocky on the left. Let's
Rocky
see.
is on the
Oops.
left, Ben on the right.
We'll reopen it.
Oh, try
There
again.
we
There we
go.
go.
Rocky on the left, Ben on the right.
And I believe, yeah, Ben is on the play.
All right, it looks
Of
like
course, when it comes to
he's
top eight, whoever was seated higher in the Swiss gets the play automatic. There's no die roll for play.
nice. So we see an elf in the Rocky plays a tap land.
Mhm.
Tap lands don't look
So
very good into a mass vandal. Oh no.
yeah, this game, spoiler, it's
It's
pretty quick. Rocky is not very happy how this game went, but classic 3 man on turn 2, and Ben is cycling Generous Ent for the second forest here.
that has got to feel bad. I mean, if you're on the
I'm,
Rocky's on the
yeah,
draw with the tap land, his deck is meant to come out of the gates fast with the Ornithopters and Springleaf Drums and stuff. And Elves has really been pushing it lately, trying to be anti-affinity. One
mhm,
thing that I
mhm.
noted was that I talked about this with Teasdale MTG, that Mass Vandal, and here we see it. Oh, geez.
There it is.
Where's
Ugh,
is
very
the Generous End
sad.
going
So
to
it gets
get
to build up his
exiled,
board
though?
and blow up Rocky's land, which is pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Looks like a Generous End should be in exile. I don't know if they've marked that. That's fine.
I
But
think they're gonna fix it, but it's not gonna matter. Here comes Quirion Ranger for some bonus mana.
the best part about Elves is watching the Elves player try to figure out how much exactly mana they have. And I don't know.
Yeah,
But a Timberwatch already.
yeah. There's Timberwatch, so a pretty gnarly opener for Ben here, to be honest.
So he can attack. What is this?
And hit for 3.
Didn't he just play the Quirion? I'm all sorts of confused.
He did just play Quirion, so Quirion should not have attacked here. The glory of paper is that sometimes you get to cheat a little bit.
That things aren't in exile. He's taking 3 going to 17. This is all on camera, folks. Oh,
Yeah,
now we know.
yeah. I'm sure Ben will let these moments haunt. So yeah, there's Rocky at least fixing the generous end, but not fixing Quirion Ranger getting in for damage there.
That's probably the problem when you're on the table being recorded. The nerves.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a few players that get a little bit camera shy when it comes to the feature match. It just kind of gets on your nerves a little bit, and then you end up overthinking or fumbling plays that you normally never pick up. But Rocky kind of doing the math here. He's like, well, Ben's got a Timberwatch up, but he does get a
He
scoop it
just
up, so that's it.
scoops it
Yeah,
right up.
he's too far behind. It was not in the cards. Yeah,
Oh, and
just too rough. But yeah,
we skipped
straight
over the
into game 2. Sorry,
sideboarding,
yeah.
which is
I
no problem.
already like edited out the sideboarding parts because I can't really see what they sideboard when they actually do it. So we have to predict a little bit what we think the sideboard plan is.
So here for the Affinity player, there's really nothing to bring in but the Thraben charms. They do have 3 Thraben charms in the sideboard, and things like Negate and Dispel are just not good. Metallic Rebuke's not even good. You probably, I
Yeah.
assume you're just cutting the Dispel entirely. You've got some number of Metallic Rebukes that can come out, and then you'd be bringing in maybe Negate and Prismatic Strands and Thraben charms. Something like Prismatic Strands would be good against the Elves player, obviously, and Negate
Mhm.
tends to actually be solid because it stops their draw spells. Where Thraben
Yes.
Charm can
Yes.
pick off a creature or two. And
Yeah, I
then,
can see an argument maybe for Apostle's Blessing, but that one might be to the tank, depending on how much Rocky hated getting his land blown up on turn 1 here.
well, the nice thing that
So
I recently learned about Apostle's Blessing is that you can target an artifact. It doesn't have to be a creature.
correct.
You can save
Yeah.
your artifact land. That's very,
You
very
can go
strong. And
target my bridge, protection from green, fizzle the Max Vandal. That's a pretty sweet play, but I don't think Rocky would bring in Blessing for that. But it
I've
is
never
an
seen
interesting thing
that.
to think about.
I've never, I have used Apostle's Blessing since 2018 and never understood that you could target a non creature.
Yeah. It's a pretty edge case, but
As
not impossible.
over here, the Elves player has 2 more Deglaimers to bring in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
basically it. I don't think they're going to bring anything else.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
don't
need the
think.
Well-Wisher, most likely.
Nah, yeah, yeah, and like I don't think the life gain in the form of Spawnwood's Paladin or like Vitagazi Inspector are that relevant. I think it's just a glamour and a back.
All right, let's see. So
But
Rocky
yeah,
led
so
off,
Rocky, yeah, coming in strong with the old turn 1 artifact land into Thraben Inspector,
making
or I
a
guess Novice Inspector in
clue.
this case, but
We've got a
making a
Gingerbread
clue.
Cabin, which is not a very fast start for Ben.
No, which leads me to believe that Ben probably kept a handful of interactive sideboard cards. So I would like to see a Declamor or maybe a Mass Vandal in there or something.
It's sort of interesting because on the draw, the Declaimer's not doing very much. And
Hmm.
it looks like Rocky has Metallic Rebuke available with 2 clues and the Sea of the Synod. So let's see if he plays a Declaimer on
Correct.
and then gets stuffed.
Bit of a sneaky rebuke
But
here
here,
that sometimes it's not obvious.
is that a Springleaf Drum?
That is a Springleaf Drum. Yeah, it's like a promo
So
from
yeah,
one of the RCGs, I
still
think.
representing the Metallic Rebuke.
Yeah, so this is extra sneaky Metallic Rebuke. It really doesn't look like Rocky has any mana up, really. But oh, here it is, jump right on time.
Or the Priest of Titania is now
Metallic
countered.
Rebuke.
I
Nothing else
don't
to
think
do.
this is going
Rocky gets to go back.
I don't think it's going to be very favored for the Affinity player on the draw still. But here
Yeah, the draw seems rough.
they're kind of just doing the thing. They've got the
There's
clowning
clowning
around now.
around. Rocky's gonna get to make 2 clowns and roll a dice.
Let's see it. I have no idea.
Looks like that was
Probably
a
more.
4. So no extra third clown for Rocky.
With
The fun
all
part
of
about
the
clowning around.
tokens, yeah, with all the
Mhm.
tokens from the clowning around, the artifact lands, the Springleaf Drum, I can see Lux Knight being pretty solid here.
Yeah, well, even on this board, I mean, I think he has 2 the sign out there, so we're already looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artifacts in play. So if he plays like another untapped artifact land and plays Luxite Breacher, I mean, it counts creatures as well, I'm pretty sure. So we're looking at like
Artifact
a 12
creatures.
12 Breacher.
Yeah, artifacts and creatures. Now,
That's
um,
correct.
I don't know what
Yeah, each
happened on
other
the other side
artifact
of the
and or
table.
creature.
We've got a Genercent, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this could be
Genercent
another
cycled.
attempt at a Mass Vandal, but I think it's like too little too late at this point. So he really
I don't
needs to
know
dump
if
his hand
hitting
and
one of
go
his
wide.
lands really does much here. Yeah, Vandal not looking as sweet. That's another priest.
Saying, do you have
But
it? He's saying yes. Oh no.
oh no,
Oh,
okay,
just
just
cracks a
cracking a
clue.
clue.
Okay, phew.
All right.
Priest of
You
Titania
got to
still
make
on the
Ben
table.
sweat a little bit. Once you get a once with them talk rebuke, you got to wonder if they've got it the second turn too.
Let's see what's coming up next. Lots of
But yeah, a
thinking
bit of a slow
and
start from Ben here.
there's lots of thinking and flicking. Chokamoge. That's a lot of damage.
So looking at a crisp 8 damage here.
I mean,
Putting Ben down to 9. So next turn, it's lethal if Ben doesn't block anything.
this has not been a very back and forth match so far. What just happened there, Thoughtcast?
So yeah, that was Thoughtcast off of the Strongly Drum making blue with Chocomog.
Pretty nice that they can use the Chokamoge even when it entered the battlefield there.
Mm-hmm.
So we are probably seeing a very fast game 2 again. but just the opposite direction.
Just,
Green Ranger
yeah,
makes
both players really showing off how blitzy their deck can be. So there's Green Ranger into Winding Way. I assume creatures. So we're seeing Elvish Mystic, Nyxborn Hydra, another Llanowar Elf, and then the Stampede in the big.
so right now they have 4 mana. This it makes 6 mana. They make
We're gonna play
3.
the Elf, get a little bonus mana here.
Another lead the Stampede.
Doesn't have to show off these ones actually. Oh, Ben's remembered
Thinks
to
it
show these
through.
cards. Ooh, the old lead the Stampede, draw 5. So it looks like another Priest Titania, another Nyxborn Hydra, and maybe a couple of left. Yeah, Activate Ranger.
I really thought this was turn 3, but maybe I'll have to review the footage.
This is turn 4, yeah. Rocky had 3 mana.
We'll have to, yeah, they're going to lose some elves. So unfortunately, the elves player doesn't have any sort of haste effect.
No.
If they had hit another Quirion, they could have gone really big here.
Yes, yes.
Let's see.
But for now, still just building up. Not really anything threatening in play, aside from Ben's got double Hydra in hand, so Rocky knows about those.
We're thinking it through, so there's probably some sort of pump effect.
Yeah, like Rocky can at least force some blocks here, given that he has 8 plus 3, 11 damage. So Ben has to at least block the Chocomog and then hope Rocky has nothing else.
Lead off on a Thoughtcast, draw 2 cards. Could have been another one mine as well. Getting in.
Oh, yeah, here comes the squad. Like, does block just the Chocomog with.
So if he has an instant speed pump spell, they're just dead, but I think he does not in the deck. We're probably going to be looking to go for a major Nyxborn Hydra on this turn, so could even do the one shot for 20 damage if he doesn't have enough or have a Thraben Charm in hand.
Clowning around too, so we're hoping to see 3 clowns this time. The nice thing is that, yeah, you do make your 2 clowns first, then you roll. Looks like that's a 3, so yeah, here comes the extra clown, so
and a Thraben Inspector.
And then the Thraben Inspector for their clue.
So
going wide, the hard part is that, yeah, unless Ben can somehow one-shot Rocky here with a Trampling Hydra, he just doesn't have enough blockers to absorb all this falling turn.
At the same time with
the Chocomog is going to tick up to the last Saga and give everything +2 or +1/+0, and any of those attackers are lethal. But yeah, here come the Elves, just spew out a bunch of blockers, I suppose. I mean, maybe Ben's okay with just trading boards if it comes to that.
I think he's trying to figure out whether or not he can Nyxborn for lethal. Right now he has 7 elves, and he can do 21 on the Nyxborn, 22 with the other elf.
Okay.
Can replay a land, that'd be 21. They have 2 but, so, or no, he's got all 3 tokens plus the Raven Inspector, so he can soak up 5 damage. I don't see a line for lethal unless he has a Quirion in hand. As a Quirion, I think they're super
25 damage Hydra. Otherwise, depends on defense.
Can still slap down a giant Hydra. If you're not going to attack this turn, you might as well make a blocker. Okay, so plays the food.
Replays your Druid Cabin.
Everybody's got their specialty tokens. Hand-drawn food token.
Yeah. Been sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers currently. Rocky's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers. So, I mean, I feel like, yeah, tapping Priest, making a big Hydra, and then untapping with Korean Ranger keeps you alive at least. Right? Like, just don't bestow the Hydra on anything, and then you have at least enough blockers to match Rocky's board, and then you trade everything, and you're left with a Hydra, and you have anything else.
Right, they could just put the Hydra onto one of the creatures that can attack this turn, slam in for a bunch of damage, make them soak it up, kill a bunch of things, and then just untap at the Quirion. That sounds good. Yeah, I could see that. But what's it gonna be? Is that double Hydra?
It is double Hydra down there, yeah.
They've got 2 cards that we don't know.
Hydra, 2 unknown.
Let's see it.
Ben is in the tank. Come on, Ben, do the math. He's doing the math. He's counting exactly how much mana he's got. Tap Priest.
I always laugh about elves. Whenever I play them, they take like 5 minutes to count. Just gotta be very precise.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that a Timberwatch?
That is Timberwatch. Second Timberwatch. Those are the 2 mystery cards.
So they're saying you're super duper dead next turn, but not going to play anything else, huh?
I guess that's the hard part. Is that yeah, Timberwatch certainly threatens lethal next turn, but Ben does have to block everything this following turn. Uh, I don't believe any of his elves are 3 toughness. And here comes a
Making
bunch more mana from the priest.
so it's 9 mana right now. They can untap
Yes.
it, tap for 9 again. They sort of might as well just play out 2 8/8 Hydras.
I think so. Yeah, just like don't bestow them. Just play them out as yeah. There's one big Hydra. Here comes the Quirion activation. Now tap for a forest quickly. Tap for a green with your land before you pick it up, and then tap again for a bunch. Recount those elves just in case.
Hmm. Maybe that
Make another.
die represents the elf count. It's kind of like storm counts, just lower and
Yeah,
less
how
flashy.
much elf storm do you have?
And then
Yeah, and
crack
spend the
the
rest of the mana on the
food,
second
going to
Hydra.
4.
All right, now we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a potential 10th blocker using Queen Ranger to untap a priest.
It's got to feel bad here. It feels like it's slipping away for Rocky.
It really does, yeah. Like so close, but yet so far from victory.
What he needs is some sort of battle rage effect.
Yeah, somebody to just like push damage through because currently Rocky is one or two attackers short of actually getting the or pushing any damage in. But yeah, the food token actually mattered here. So
They've got
Gingerbread Cabin really shining in this matchup.
they've got 11 creatures on the table. You just swing out.
Turn him sideways, hope he messes up, I guess, is not a bad strategy.
Math is for blockers.
That is true. Math is for blockers, and Rockies decided to put this theory to the test. See if I mean, look, you just saw Ben do a bunch of math regarding elf counts. Surely he can count the number of blockers he needs.
Well, the cool thing about this board is that the Timber Watches being 1/2s can block those clown tokens profitably. Doesn't have to sacrifice everything. So you
I
can
guess that
shove.
would be true, but the Chocomog has buffed them, so they're
Hmm,
currently 2/1s.
dang.
So yeah, no favorable blocks outside of the 2 Hydras.
Well, they're definitely not going to do that then because they really want to save the Timber Watches for lethal. Even if they just go the 2 Timber Watches and the Quirion left back, that's plus 9 damage, which is probably going to do it.
Probably enough, yeah.
Right now
Yeah,
it's
put the Hydras in front of those. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2/1s coming in. I guess he only needs to block 6 of them. He can take 2 damage. Yeah, throw a bunch of elves against a bunch of clowns. 4 on 4.
or Priest of Titania.
Yeah, untap. Throw a priest in there.
But there's still 2 getting through at the moment, which would be lethal. So
Yeah, gotta sacrifice a Timberwatch elf, looks like, as well.
I think I would have untapped the priest, but maybe untap something else. It looks like he did use the untap effect.
Yeah, he had both priests tapped on his last turn when he deployed the Hydras, so only one. Otherwise, yeah, if the other priest was untapped, I think the obvious creatures that you want to save Rangers.
Let's see what happens here.
This does keep Ben alive at 2.
So what were the prizes for this tournament? I know there was a belt buckle.
There was a belt buckle. There was some store credit prizing, thanks to Covey and the staff at Overston. There were these playmats that you're seeing on Ben's side. The top 8 got playmats. There's also a pin that every entrant got. Here comes Apostle's Blessing. Rocky's gonna save his Choco Mog.
What?
Interesting.
I feel
I
that
wonder if
putting the
he would
Apostle's
have.
Blessing on the Chocomog and just getting in.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe you're better off just blessing on the Mog and then getting your 3
That's only
damage.
3 damage. Yeah.
One shy, but I think Rocky might just be dead on this turn though.
I mean, he's just top decking. He had a land. So if he top decks an elf, I think it would be lethal. Thinking it through.
Only representing a boost of 6.
I believe that's an elf. And this elf can create a +1 counter on another creature. So they currently have.
Yeah, this is the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. So if you collect evidence 6, put a 1/1 counter attack creature you control and gain 2 life.
They'll go to 4 life. Probably not going to matter. They put the counter on their elf. I feel like
Yeah,
those
I think you
creatures.
put it
There's
on one of your Hydras
16.
for sure.
Maybe they're just understanding that it doesn't actually matter because it's +8 with the Timberwatch.
Yeah,
So it's 24
either
coming
way.
in.
Oh, Rocky got a trick.
Prismatic
Ooh,
Strands.
Strands from hand is the last card, so it gets to blank.
I did call that one out as a card to bring in.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that, okay, they're going to untap.
So yeah, the issue here is that Rocky, I don't think could or was able to force Ben to use the Korean Ranger for damage. I think Rocky was just dead to this Timberwatch Elf plus the Hydras. So he's able to then untap the Hydra on defense.
And here, before the Shokumon goes away, they're going to use the Springleaf Drum.
It
They can
looks like, yeah.
they can respond to the
It's like
trigger,
trigger on the stack.
thinking
Yeah,
it through.
you can certainly respond to the last trigger and do something if you want to
He's got a couple of clues to
creature for
crack.
something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
main
it is draw first and then main phase.
right. We're working through the kinks. That would never happen to me on Magic Online because I already would have auto yielded to it. It would have gone straight to the graveyard.
Yeah, would have been dead lightning speed.
Okay, drawing a bunch of cards. They can
Yeah.
still hold back the strands, but we know there's only one of them in the entire deck. So it's delaying the inevitable here.
Blank one damage
GG.
and doesn't see the way out. Doesn't really see a way to victory here and packs it up. So Rocky, unfortunately, taken out by Ben on Elves.
So this was our Elves winner, and we're on to the finals featuring none other than Derek Brown.
I did make it to the finals. It's me and Ben in the finals match. So we already seen Elves. So we can take a look at my sick mono black list.
You're
The
playing
funny
Mono
part
Black
about this list,
Sacrifice.
yes,
Some funky cards though. So why don't you go ahead and talk about the fun
sure.
ofs.
I can do the breakdown since I did make this list. Some of this list is kind of a collateral damage for when High Tide was legal. There was one player in our scene that while High Tide was legal, he was just like cleaning up wins like every single.
Right.
So I was like, how do we beat High Tide? I got to get rid of their cards. Black Sack is fast, but I wanted a way to like disrupt them further. And also from watching a bunch of videos from Marsh of Strata Games, I feel like one of his main complaints about Black Sack currently is there's not enough fodder in the deck. So Ashes Against Zubera kind of fits both categories in that you can affect the opponent's hand and just disrupt it that way while also pumping your guys. The fun combo you can do though with this deck specifically and Zubera is that so we have 6 undying effects as I call them. So we have the 2 Vince Limit Breaks and the 4 Supernatural Staminas. If you have a sack outlet on board, so both on Vampire, Carrion Feeder, and 1 Zubera, if you use the Undying spell, you can stack the triggers in a way so that when it dies, both the discard trigger for it dying and it coming back go in the stack at the same time. You can have it return to the battlefield first before your opponent discards, and then when you sack it again for the second time, you get another discard trigger, and then both those triggers, when they resolve, they then check how many Zuberas have died that turn, which is 2.
That means
So
they're
it's a little
discarding 4
combo.
cards, which is a very, very large
Correct.
amount. And I got
Correct,
wrecked
which is
by
a
this
kind of gnarly
playing Tide, I
amount.
believe. Or
Yes. Most of the list is pretty stock. So I'll talk about some of the other fun includes that I've added. So in the 1-drop spot, we've also added 2 copies of Shadow Alley Denizen. This is a 1-drop that whenever a black creature enters, you can give another creature you control Intimidate, which is just, it can't be blocked except for artifact creatures or black creatures that share a color with it. So in this case, it's going to be black. All my guys are black. So the nice part about this card is that it just enables a couple more cheeky wins where if you can give your Bloodthorn Vampire essentially unblockable, you can sneak past some of these decks that have like chump blockers.
like Elves.
You get the like Elves is a pretty good example. So this does help the Elves matchup. Definitely, we're not playing any Shambling Gasp, which I know is normally the kind of Elves tech with the -1/-1. So kind of here, kind of there, but does kind of steal you wins where you don't deserve them. Where any of your black creatures give one of your sack outlets unblockable, and then the infestation stages do double duty where you can sack it, and then the bug is black. That'll also trigger
Oh, nice.
Shadow Alley Denizen.
Then you have the one of Rite of Consumption. Make sure to put the Fear of God into them.
Yeah, gotta surprise them every once in a while with the old sack everything to my Bloodthorn Vampire and then fling it at you is always a good trick. And then also playing Vincent's Limit Break. This is a card from Final Fantasy that I haven't really seen anybody play in Black Sack, but it's kind of a worse version of Supernatural Stamina in that for 2 mana, you kind of get the same effect, where it changes a creature's base power to 3/2, which if your creature's a 1/1, it essentially makes, gives it +2 power. But it does have the tiered mechanic, which is that if you can dump more mana into it, you get a additional effect. So either 2 mana for a 3/2, 3 mana for a 5/2, or 5 mana for a 7/2, which
So
I mean is a lot for Black Sack.
is this effect pre or post it dying and coming back?
So this is before it dies. Yeah, the wording is really weird, but it does give it the text of when it dies, it comes back, and while it's still alive, it gets this base power toughness. Once
Okay.
it dies, it comes back. It goes back to normal. Um, this is mostly synergy again, so I have extra ways to do the Zubera scam. But also sometimes you can trick people with the old Nested Shambler tech, and you can for 3 mana you can turn Nested Shambler into a 5/2, make 5 squirrels. It comes back,
Right.
um,
Yeah, that
and
is
that's a
very
lot of
true.
fodder to work with. Or go really wide sometimes, where you just make a board of squirrels, then you swing in every turn with like 5/1/1.
Nested Shambler kind of is the engine of the deck. I think it's the secret
It's
engine of the deck because
It
it
really is the best card in the deck, honestly. It's the card's absurd. Like it goes so crazy with both stamina and limit break that in a future set, I'm just waiting for Wizards to print another 1 mana undying effect that boosts the power before it dies, so I can synergize better with Shambler. But in the meantime, we have Vincent's Limit Break to kind of fill that gap.
what did you
But
what made you not play the newer card, the 5/3 or something like that? Maybe it's a 4/5 that you can
oh,
sort of evoke.
the Edge of Eternities guy.
Yes.
I had tried it, and one, it being sorcery speed, like, kind of hurts. It's very telegraphed,
But it does have an infinite
and
combo where it can
it
win it on
does.
itself.
It does. And when I played it, honestly, the infinite combo like never came up. It just like it requires too many specific cards to actually do anything about it. And even then, sometimes you're like infinite guy just gets blocked anyway.
I played the
So
deck
it
one single
just
time against James Hippo Hieronymus at Magicon
mhm,
Atlanta, just in a side for funsies game.
yeah.
And he scooped before I executed the infinite combo. I had the creature on the stack. He's like, "That's it." It's like, no, I wanted to have my fun. Oh well. The
Yeah,
deck
yeah.
is
Like it's
super
got
super fast.
some yeah, yeah. We were able to blitz a lot of our opponents today just by coming out the gate really fast and saw before they could stabilize. But let's see how we do against Elves here. Got some pretty interesting matches. But I was the second seed here, so I get to go first, which is pretty great for Black Sack.
Yeah, very nice. Started
But
off
I
with
think
the
traditionally Elves is a bit of a tough matchup for Black Sack, and Ben sure makes me or sure reminds me of that fact. But went for the little opener of turn one carrying feeder, because I'm not worried about removal from the deck. The double infestation stage, which is a bit of a weird card this matchup because a lot of the elf cards just check for elves in play, not elves you control. So sometimes if you're not paying attention, priest or Timberwatch elf can produce extra power, extra mana if you don't get rid of your elves early. So I just get rid of them right away to get an extra 2 power on my carrying feeder, and then get my flying bugs.
getting in for 3, and then the flyers are good because the elves are mostly ground pounders.
Correct,
But
correct.
Ben is dumping a lot of creatures on the table already.
Ben's going pretty crazy here, yeah, with
Priest of Titania.
triple 1-drop elf, one being Korean Ranger, a hell of a magic card, I tell you. Priest is threatening a lot of damage next turn. But here comes Beetle. Beetle's a pretty good pickup here, as well as the old Link Breaker.
And now you just attack in. They can't afford to block the carrion feeder. They'd have to chump something. And then
Hmm.
you can sacrifice the Link Breaker. The cool thing about the Link Breaker is that it sacrifices into a creature that can pump another power and toughness. So if you do
Hmm.
find the Nested Shambler, that synergizes with that pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, and it also buffs the flying bugs as well. So if I need to get those last kind of chip damage in, this is kind of another way to sneak one extra damage in with my flyer.
And what made you not sacrifice that there just to get the extra 1 point and then also get the flying chip at damage in on the next turn?
I think I'd do it on Ben's end step here. I didn't do it in combat because he had blocked the feeder anyway, so there wasn't really
Okay,
that much point into doing it at that point.
right. I
But
missed that spot. But he probably was
yeah,
priced into blocking the carrion feeder and trying to stay alive.
I
Gonna
think
dump some more
so.
stuff on the table. Double Querying Ranger now.
Double Korean Ranger is pretty rough for me.
Nearly infinite
And
mana at this point.
yeah, the world is Ben's oyster here. You gotta do whatever he wants. And just
Flopping down a
slams
5/6,
Generous Ent on
5/7.
turn turn 2 or turn 3. I think this is turn 2.
I
Or
think it's his
yeah,
turn
yeah.
3 here with
Turn
the
3 Generous Ent. Yeah, so that unfortunately puts a stop to my flyer plan as well. So now I'm kind of stonewalled against this Generous Ent.
at least you can pump the unblocked one and get in. But
Yes.
as soon as he hits a Nyxborn Hydra, you're kind of toast.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
my
don't.
guys get pretty big, but Ben's guys also get quite large.
I feel like Nyxborn Hydra is really just the fireball for the elves. I call it the green
It
fireball.
really is mono green fireball where you're just like, do I have an absurd amount of mana? So yeah, here I am stacking the Link Breaker just to get my counter on my Beetle, and then a counter on my Iron Feeder, and getting a free mercenary out of it. So
Very nice.
I think yeah, I mean my goal here is to try to get my Feeder slash Beetle big enough to start smacking through.
Right. If
But
you've
still
got
a little
two
bit of
creatures
ways.
that both have to be chump blocked, you're gonna chip away at them over time until they find a
Mhm.
Winding Way or lead the Stampede. They're drawing off the top of the deck, so they're kind of just hoping to find it. You're only playing 4 Village Rites in your deck. Ooh, this
That's
is the
correct.
discard
I'm a
Zubera,
little
but he only has 1 card in hand.
correct.
Not the
Yeah, here's the old
greatest.
Ashen Skin Zubera. But I am aware, though, that at this point, if I try to make him discard that one card, if it's important enough, he could activate Korean Ranger to pick up Forest and then throw that away instead.
That is true.
But yeah, so I'm just going to swing in with my Carrion Feeder because I can threaten to give it another 3 counters, making it a 7/7, which currently beats the Generous Ent. So Ben just chumps an inconsequential elf.
Doesn't even need it. And here comes a Winding Way.
Gotta love Winding
We're
Way.
seeing 2
So Well
creatures.
Wisher, Vandal,
Ooh,
Winding Way, Forest.
hitting a Winding Way's got to feel bad. That's part of the reason why
Yeah.
I don't like playing things like Malevolent Rumble in my Altertron decks is just not being able to chain into your next card draw feels bad. Some Elves players, well, some by one Elves player on Magic Online, Raketa, they love to play the Salt Road Pack Beast as a card draw that you can hit off your Winding Way for continuing to cantrip
Yes.
through your deck. And those players are playing things like Hydroblast, Dispel, Spell Pierce to try and stop them on a red matchup as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in a bit of a pickle here now since Ben played Well Wisher, which means next turn he can start gaining a boatload of life every turn. So he's becoming less and less incentivized to chump here.
Hmm.
But I'm going to go Swamp, and I believe my hand here was Bloodthorn Vampire and Undying Spell, but I think it's Vincent's Limit Break, not the other one. So my mana's a little bit tied up here. We're still going to threaten the old Carrion Feeder swing.
This is the battle of the go wide decks, but one of them
A
has
little
trample.
bit, yeah. That is something that right that like black is sorely missing, and why I was playing Denizen is that it doesn't really have evasion or a way to like push through boards like this. Kind of just have to like throw your guy in and hope that you eventually chisel through their army of guys.
Right. One of the
But
one
yeah,
of
I've
the 2 players is going to top deck better, and then it's going to be over.
This really is a weird battle of attrition here, but yeah, the issue is that my attrition is in the form of village rights, and his is in the form of winding ways and lead the stampede, which are a little better.
Another
So
chump.
yeah, just throws a mass vandal away. Doesn't need that.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, do I go for the discard now that I have the reanimation? How important is the last card? But I decided, let's just pass. See what he wants to do. He makes a bunch of mana, sacks of food, gains 3 life.
Let's kick it up a teeny bit.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, we played this a little bit slow. I mean, it's the finals. We both want to win really bad. We're really thinking through the lines. We're like,
Neither of you have
how
a
do
belt
I
buckle yet?
win? There's got to be a way. I don't have a belt buckle yet. Neither of us have belt buckles yet, actually. Funny enough, the winner from last year, because this is our second year trying this, he didn't even make top 8 last year's winner.
Oh man.
But yeah, so here comes the moment. He's going to activate Korean Ranger, targeting his Priest. And now that he's picked up his Forest as part of the activation cost, I'm going to limit break my Zubair.
Oh nice. So now you
So now I
can
get to
sacrifice
sack.
his Zubera and then return it and sacrifice it again. He's got what, 3 cards in hand, so they're all
He's
gone.
got 3 cards in hand. One of them being his only Forest. I sack it again. He throws his whole hand away. Turns out he was charging up for a Nyxborn Hydra.
Nice
So we did
position there.
pretty sweet there, yeah. And I think our I don't know if it was a fatal mistake, but I think our first mistake is coming up on this turn. Um,
Retro.
but Ben also made a mistake on that turn where I think he made a comment when he was doing this play, like trying to put the pressure on or something. I was like, oh, okay, he's got something big. So then I was like, well, let's do the like Zubera scam. So yeah, here I think I almost certainly should have attacked with the beetle, and I just did not. I attacked with Carrion Feeder.
And even just playing the Marauder pre-combat would have given the beetle.
Yeah, to buff the beetle 2 more, right? Like, ugh, because I mean, the issue with this board state is a quick like rewind here. He just was like, oh, I want to activate Well Wisher before this thing dies, gain 1 extra life, whatever. But yeah, I need to find a way to outrace the Well Wisher.
Right.
And currently he can't
Ooh.
actually activate Quirion Ranger. So like it should be fine for me to just swing in because he can't get these double triple activations.
Looks like we found a
And we
Timberwatch though. Uh-oh.
yes, we realized some of this too late. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with this beetle. I guess I'm too afraid or something. It's currently a 6/6. I mean, I could sack 3 guys and make it a 9/9 or even a 10/10 if I sack the vampire. So
Maybe it's just
2 turns in a row.
you're still getting into the 5/7 on the board on the other side. You could potentially kill him with the Rite of Consumption or something like that, and he can potentially kill you with the Timberwatch. No trample though, and he was probably ready to go for the trample in that the previous turn. Top decked a Gingerbread Cabin, which is a pretty bad top deck.
It's actually a pretty good top deck here. Well, yeah, bad for me. Great for Ben because now he can activate his Quirion Ranger at least once.
That's true. Can't make any mana with it, but he can activate the Quirion Ranger.
Make mana, but yeah,
it's kind of like
it's
a
been a
spell
funny
land.
board. It is. Yeah, it like enables that land represents either like
Oof.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a +7 damage. It represents +7 life. Like it does a lot here. Honestly, this one forest.
And you've got a nested shambler there that just came down, so you can get 2 squirrels out of it with the red creature that's on the table that was left over from the previous thing. The Bloodthrone Vampire could get very, very large very quickly. So with 1 card in hand, though, it's kind of tough.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 represents 12 damage from the vampire, and then of course another like 5 or 6 counters on the beetle.
Oh man!
But again, I'm too afraid of, I guess, Ent and then double pump with Timberwatch Elf, and then just like eating one of my guys.
And then
gain
some life. I'm just going to gain some life. Just pick it back up. So he's on defense too, which is interesting.
He is on defense. Yeah.
Anything, I feel like any attack coming in, you have to just chump, but you have a lot of chumpers, so I guess they're saving it. Supernatural Stamina.
Stamina on the Shambler. I mistakenly do not activate my Mercenary on the Shambler, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
So I'm missing 1 extra squirrel here, which might actually matter, actually. Oh, no, I did that on his end step. Okay.
Still, if you...
I mean, maybe I should have untapped and done it then. Would have been
Ben's at 35. The Rite of Consumption... I don't think you can make 35 here. Like, what's the maximum you ever Rite of Consumption for? 20?
Yeah, about 20, 21, I think I've righted for it. That's about as big as I've gotten.
But it's kind of like attacking in at this point with the active Timberwatch. They can block, and then he's not going to Timberwatch.
Double pump. So yeah, we're just attacking with the Carrion Feeder. I think I got into this mindset that because Carrion Feeder can't block, I might as well just swing with it anyway. When I should have been swinging with this beetle like 2 turns early. Maybe this game would be differently if Ben had to chump once or twice. But I think what Ben did correctly in this matchup was that he really recognized who was the beatdown here, and recognized that Elves is the control deck in this matchup, and that Mono Black Sack is the end. So he just needs to kind of chill until his superior card advantage pulls him ahead.
Yeah, he's just looking for a point to go over the top with a Nyxborn Hydra still. It really powered up this list. I sort of wonder...
It really did, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing that really powered up Elves was the Avenging Hunter tech. So they've got
Mhm.
3 major upgrades: Mass Vandal, Nyxborn Hydra, and Avenging Hunter, like pressuring people from all angles. I
Yeah.
just still, when I started playing Pauper, Elves just didn't seem good. It wasn't a good deck, and now it's really good, and it's mind blowing for me. Can't rectify it in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, it's a so he just trumps, I guess. But then he activates Timberwatch Elf, so he's gonna force me to do a bunch of sacking.
But if
So like this was also the nightmare scenario that I want to avoid is that if he starts, throwing like 1/1 elves and then starts pumping them, I have to sack a bunch of my fodder just to get rid of a 1/1. And
right,
then how many times can I do that before I just run out of gas and he still has a huge board, right?
so you've had one more squirrel here.
Yeah, yeah. I did correctly buff one of my shamblers before combat. This exact scenario. I get one extra squirrel. I can sack this to the Carrion Feeder. The Carrion Feeder is currently sitting at 9. Puts it up to 10.
Well,
Timberwatch Elf representing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And twice, so turning this one elf into a 17/17, which is
oh my god,
what am I supposed to do? I can't kill all these elves. There's too many.
that's how they get you.
That is how
He
they get
forces
you.
you
So yeah.
to take a ton of actions on a 1/1 that you didn't even care about, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
just gonna let it go probably. Gonna
Oh yeah, here
Timberwatch
comes
it
the
again. It's
double
like,
pump. And
how
he's
do you
like,
feel
"Hey, I
about
can make
it?
you sack another like 6 guys or something." And I think I do fall for the bait. I'm like, well, I can't lose Carrion Feeder. Carrion Feeder is so important here. I'm doing
Counting
the
them out.
math. Got to count them up. Got to double check. I mean, hey, look, it's not just the elves players that are
So you're
carrying their
sacrificing your
creatures. Yeah,
entire board though, but then don't you
basically
just lose on the
everything.
crackback? It's a tough
I
situation.
could, in fact, lose on the crackback. I think, yeah. At this point, if Ben attacks all, or I guess not all, or everything but Timberwatch Elf, I'm pretty sure he can activate twice on whatever is not blocked and get damage. But at least
They have 8
But if
elves
he
right
has his
now.
math wrong, maybe I survive. Adjusting my dice a little here,
They've
but
got You
both
have
those
no
creatures
cards
are
in
like
hand.
double digits.
He's got
Yeah,
a
my
gingerbread
cards are on the
cabin.
table.
1 card drawn. It just says go. I guess it doesn't matter to him right now. He can just he already showed that he can block,
Hmm.
gain a bunch of
And I mean,
life.
he's sitting at a very comfortable 43 life. So even if he can get hit by a Carrion Feeder, lose like maybe a third of his life total. He can take like 2 more hits from Carrion Feeder and just do nothing.
What would be
But
your best
yeah,
draw from your side that at this point?
I think at this point we are toast. Actually, I believe this game does not go on too much longer after this. I think best draw is like I need like 3 draws in a row, honestly, to go good. I need
What is
the
this
Shadow
one?
Alley Denizen to crack in unblocked. Ideally, maybe get both of those creatures in. Yeah, Ben throws the initiative down. I mean,
So
it's another forest, which
the thing that really bites for you here with the initiative is that creature has trample, and that's what
hmm
you were trying to avoid the whole time. So now he's
yes,
saying basically you have 1 turn.
yeah, he's put me in check here, where it's like, yeah, I can just like swing at this guy and buff him up a whole bunch. And,
Oh,
can't
absolutely.
just chomp with Bloodthorn Vampire, and a Beetle doesn't even trade with it. So
Initiative just still living in Pauper.
yeah, and that was a pretty good timing too, because like if I still had my insects, I could have at least swung in this turn to like steal it back. And I mean that doesn't get me anywhere, but here I finally remembered that Beetle could attack and decide to put him in the red zone. But I believe mentally here, I'm like, yeah, we're dead, so might as
Oh,
well
he's gonna
just
block.
swing out.
Doesn't even really. I think maybe not blocking would have been a better idea because I don't think you have 43 damage.
Yeah,
They can just
sure
swing out and
don't.
kill you. He's going to block with the Generous Ent on the
Block
bigger
with Genesect as
creature.
well. Yeah,
Then he can just pump up the Generous Ent.
yeah. The Genocide gets big enough from this double pump as well. Or yeah. He also does block with the Avenging Hunter too. But
Okay.
I believe he then proceeds to double pump on the Avenging Hunter, and
So it
that's
seems like he just wants everything dead.
yeah,
Because if you have no board, he's got all the power here.
yeah. I mean, we've done what Black Sack does. We've made 2 giant 1-drop creatures. It's still not good enough. So the this game is, for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty sure this game is over. But going through the motions here, I'm like, maybe Ben makes a mistake, I guess, and we could sneak in the win somehow, right? Or like maybe if I crack in and then top deck right at consumption, I can steal a win that way.
Lots of counting in these kinds of matchups, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. There sure was a lot of counting here. Yeah, double block, and then he timber watches his Ben Hunter.
With the new rules change, you do have to do all these pumps before the damage is dealt because damage is assigned on that phase. There's no like stacking. It doesn't.
Yeah, so the difference here, right, is that like there's no order to the blockers.
Right. So you would have
So
to
yeah,
have
once the
order
blocks
them,
are made, Ben has to pump beforehand.
which hasn't really affected me because I don't do combat, but
No,
I-
it's
it
mostly
seems
for
kind of
direct and
wonky.
combat tricks. But yeah, generally, I mean, he gets to pump whatever he wants, and then I can choose which to kill instead of like I'm gonna order the Generosent first, and then he chooses to just pump the Generosent all the way, and
Right.
then I kill
Exactly.
nothing. At least this way, I do get to actually kill the Avenging Hunter. So he did choose to pump the Generosent, but my Carrion Feeder dies in the process, which is half my damage on the board.
I wonder why kept the Generosent alive.
Honestly, I don't know. I think maybe Ben's just playing with his food at this point.
Put some counters on the Generosent.
Yeah,
So
forge
he's
under the
just gonna
Generosent.
like wonk in and force a chump block.
I mean, even here, I think if he just swings with everything, I think I'm just dead. And he's just playing it super safe. He knows he can't lose here.
Man,
So
taking his
it's like,
time.
yeah. But I'm not one to play out games that I know I've lost. So I think this is the time. I'm like, well, my Carrion Feeder is dead. All I have left is this stupid beetle. The Generosent is massive. Only get bigger. All right,
Right
let's
at
give it one more
consumption, target
swing.
me. So
I mean, it does
it's
say target player, I believe. So you know what? I would write a consumption target myself if that was an option.
right now it's a 17 power creature.
Hmm.
Timberwatch 4, 5, 6. Then Timberwatch again for 12. Definitely gonna eat it.
Yeah, base and then plus the forge is enough to eat my beetle.
You can sacrifice the beetle to the Bloodthorn Vampire to now have a 2/2 beetle.
I could.
Probably not going
I
to
could
affect
sack
the
my
game
last two
state.
creatures to put two more counters on this, be left with just a beetle.
All
And
right.
I'm like, yeah, that's enough. We're done.
So game 2.
Game two.
What are you bringing in out of the board here?
Well, I got two Drown in Sorrows, which are pretty good. And I got two Tragic Slips, which I think are the only ones that I actually end up bringing in.
Nice.
Just a little bit of interaction and a little bit of hand hate to help with going on over there. But very similar openers to our first game. So I play a bunch of fodder creatures in a row. Ben just plays the old turn one mana dork.
He's got 3 men on turn 2. Plays is that Aquarian, so that's 2
That
mana.
is Quirion Ranger.
Whining
Oh
Way.
boy, here comes Winding Way for
It's 1 creature,
one,
2 creature, 3
two.
creatures. No.
So I
Okay.
believe
That
that
was a
was
monstrous
the
emergence.
fight spell. That was,
Right.
yeah. But still, 2 mana draw 3 is pretty good, especially when those three are Timberwatch Elf, Avenging Hunter, Generosent.
Yeah. Gets in for 3. That's another I'll just take it. And then you play the Bloodthorn Vampire. This is probably the card that could win the game for you, where it's just what? There's 6 creatures to sacrifice right now, so it's plus. It
Correct.
would be a 13 power creature. If you can do a little bit of shenaniganery, you might be able to write a consumption on the next turn.
Right, yeah. So there's a lot of avenues to win, depending on the texture of my hand here. Where if I draw like a Shadow Alley Denizen and then another creature, I can give it unblockable and then swing it that way. But Ben has a Monster's Emergence in hand, and he's going to try to take out the vampire.
It's going to deal at 5. You can sacrifice your creatures to make it
That's the hard
bigger.
part here, yeah, is that I can keep it alive, but I have to sacrifice 3 fodder to do so,
And that's
or
a
effectively
the
3 creatures.
the Bloodthorn Vampire is a temporary effect. It's not like the
Mhm.
Carrion Feeder where it sticks around. Just going
No.
to Supernatural
Instead,
Stamina.
just undying it. Just
1
I'll
mana
just 1
counter
mana
spell.
counterspell it. Not bad, not bad for
That's pretty
mono
solid.
black, the old 1 mana counterspell.
Ooh.
Because I also considered like, is it worth it to stamina one of my fodder creatures, then sack them that way to keep it alive? But I figured I'll
Right.
just do the vampire way. So
I thought I
I'm in
saw
for
the
4.
Black Suit Barrier there. That would have been pretty good after they revealed all those good hits in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in for 4 can just, well, so he's maybe not incentivized to block because you're representing the potential for a pump spell like another supernatural stamina. So blocking with the Timber
Mhm.
Watch would be a bad call.
Yeah,
He's
we
just gonna
just
take it.
deal him 4 because dealing him 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12
Right now he's at 12, so supernatural
isn't
stamina
quite
is lethal.
enough.
Or not supernatural stamina. The Rite of Consumption would be lethal right now.
Yes.
Do you have it?
If I had drawn it, that would have been pretty sweet.
I find that if you really want to draw your card, you put it in your list as a singleton because that always shows up in your
Mm,
opening hand.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, the old one of curse.
Oh no, another
Uh,
Timberwatch.
here comes second Timberwatch. Now I'm like, ugh, that's bad for us.
So he knows you don't have the Rite of Consumption in hand. So he's just trying
Yeah,
to
or he'd be
fade for
dead.
1 turn, basically. If he can, what he paid 3 mana, just a 1 mana Nyxborn Hydra.
Just
Gonna
0/1 Nyxborn. Yeah,
chump that Bloodthrone Vampire.
yeah. Either a
Or
chumper or you can buff it with the Timberwatch elves and it still has trample anyway.
right.
So yeah, we decide to sack one of our guys
Is
for
this the
reasons that will be
flyer?
revealed in a second. So here's my bug, one on the carrying feeder, and here comes Tragic Slip for -13/-13 on your Timberwatch elf.
Nice.
Get
That's
back
one
down to one
down.
of these.
No response. We cannot pump it up enough.
No, can't make +13 on that one.
What made you choose to sacrifice that one instead of Link Breaker?
The flyers seem more relevant, especially since his only reacher is the Hydra, and
And
I
he has to
figured he might
chump the
be.
Bloodthrone Vampire.
Yeah, he's incentivized to chump here anyway, and since it's a 0/1, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I
because
can just.
he his Timberwatches are not active yet.
Yeah, yeah. I killed the Timberwatch that was active, so the other one was still summoning signal. But
Seven's going to lead
got
the
Ben thanks on the
Stampede.
ropes here, down to 7. Comes old lead the
Interestingly, I
Stampede.
don't see him getting out of this scenario either. But you never
Yeah,
know.
lead for 3.
A couple of Mana Dorks and a Quirion, and you're right back in business.
Yeah, honestly, Korean Ranger, that card is insane. I think I underestimated that card a little bit, and
Maybe you should
I'm
have
thinking back
tragic
that maybe
slipped
I
that
should have.
guy.
Exactly, that's what I'm beating myself up over. Is that I think I should have gotten rid of Korean Ranger. It's just like a
It's
double effect of all your best cards,
it's a little bit of a
and
wash at this point since it would have left you at 2 Timberwatches, but it would have taken the mana down a
hmm,
little bit, stopping him
yes,
from being able to get the Avenging Hunter on the table. But you're
yeah,
going to be able
less
to get in for
flexibility
the Avenging
here.
Hunter too, so yeah.
Yeah, so Avenging Hunter is kind of bad here since I'm already representing one and with a possible second flyer that I can just steal the initiative back.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
And
going to
then, and then
see.
if I want, I have a lot of chumpers to like stall the initiative if I really need to.
Well,
So yeah,
who
seeing that
doesn't.
he's pretty low, I'm gonna sack to the carrion feeder.
Okay.
Get a second guaranteed damage in the air.
It's 7
And we're also gonna sack the
Link Breaker.
to make the mercenary so I can get 3 in the air, right? And both of them vampire still represents lethal,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
especially with the shambler. Buff one of my bugs. We're just gonna
that's
try to
just
finish
3 in
them
there.
off up
Just
there
chipping
because
away.
the unfortunate Timberwatch Elf does represent 8+8+8, and I don't really want to sack my board to keep either both of Vampire or Carrion Feeder alive here for a single elf.
It sort of depends on what they attack with, but your squirrels come into play tapped, so you would have to block with everything.
Mm-hmm.
If they can dump a bunch of elves onto the table, Well-Wisher, not very
Well-Wisher is
effective right
unfortunately
now.
bad. Well-Wisher not too good here, but maybe on a future
Another
turn.
lead the Stampede. So he's going to be able to have just 1 mana. Going to
One card on the
reveal
bottom and
4
another
cards.
5. The old for the old 3 mana draw 4, huh? Green just has it all.
It's going to, okay, that was a Mana Dark 2. Priest of Titania.
Yeah.
So next turn it's on, basically.
Yeah, next turn, lots of damage, lots of mana, lots of life.
I wonder if,
All because of Korean Ranger.
yeah, I wonder if the Mixborn is coming. Is that a Fairy Macabre?
It was a Fairy Macabre, yeah. So instead of going to discard, because he had too many cards in hand, since he's drawn so many off of these lead the Stampedes, these winding ways. Yeah, fires out the Fairy Macabre on me just for funsies.
I think the
But
Fairy
interesting
Macabre.
sideboard piece because he got by the Zubair scam last game. I guess he didn't want to fall for it a second time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He brought it in. He said, "I do not want to get Zubair scammed, so this is
Don't
not
want to get
happening.
discard 4 again. That's too bad.
I'll discard 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see what happens." We're
So I'm pretty sure my hand is land and the Shadow Alley Denizen, but unfortunately, I have no way to create a black creature this turn.
yeah, because
That's
are the bugs black? You said.
They are black, so I wasted my free sack outlet black creatures too early on to get these flying chip damage in. But putting Ben down to 1 ain't bad.
So here you're not playing the shadow creature, the intimidate creature, because you want to save it for the trick,
Yeah,
essentially.
I want to be a surprise. So he doesn't play around it necessarily. If it's on board, he might go really hard into the Well Wisher. Gain like how much life is this right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gain like 12 life.
Which
Right. So
is
I'm thinking like, well,
just over
maybe
the amount that you
he
can do. Playing more
yeah.
elves, 2 mana dorks.
I'm hoping that maybe he goes all in on his Queen Ranger activations a little bit and leaves himself open to maybe a big Shadow Alley Denizen turn.
I think we're seeing Genersense on the table.
Yeah, here comes Generous End, putting a stop to my flying bug plan.
He's like, 1 is not dead.
Yeah, 1 is not dead.
Oh, is it 7?
And
Crack
with
2
Well Wisher
foes.
in play, I can't even swing with both bugs and finish them off because gains life and then represents another like 7 or more life this turn. Because of
Yikes.
course, Queen Ranger is once per turn, not once on your turn.
You don't want to get got by that. So you played your black
Yeah.
creature.
Yeah, here's the Denizen. He's
Is it
got to
happening?
read it. You got a reader.
But yeah, he can double activate the Quirion right now, so you have to get through all of that in this turn.
Yeah. So he's representing another. I'm counting up the Well Wisher. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
So it's
18
plus
life.
18. So you're
And
looking at
I
trying to deal 25 with a single creature. 1, 2, 3,
yeah, my math, if I count correctly, see, I'm doing
16-ish.
the math here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 activations on my vampire.
Yeah, that's what I had. So you're going to be putting them at 9 plus, hitting them for 19, but they're gaining 18. So it's not happening.
Am I gonna find another 7 damage here?
You need that spell to make your Shambler ginormous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Vincent's Limit Break would be pretty sweet here to get a whole bunch
Unfortunately,
of
they just
squirrels.
activate the Well Wisher, untap, activate it again, completely out of range.
Yeah, because I didn't have the damage that turn, so I just passed. I was like, let's get the Denizen in play. In case we do draw some sort of big or a like Vincent's plus 1 drop or something that I want like double spell for.
And they played a Winding Way, hitting Timberwatch and 2 mana dorks.
Mm-hmm.
So
So Ben just ripping the card advantage. Just so many elves in his hand, so many elves in play. Just can't get through these.
just
Make a
infinite elves
million
on the
billion
board.
mana.
Yeah, infinite mana.
Yeah, the world is his oyster. He gets to do whatever he wants at this point.
It reminds me of the Anakin Skywalker meme where it's like, it's working.
It's working.
We're doing it. Just put every single creature on the table except for the Avenging Hunters.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
yeah.
playing because he's holding these things in hand. Seems to be playing around a sweeper, which I guess you could top deck a sweeper here. That could be the way.
Yeah, if I can find a Drowning-Sorrow, that'd be pretty sweet on this board. He can save like 3 things with Timberwatch Elves, but then everything else dies.
We ripped the swamp, so not where you're looking for.
Yeah, gotta love having 4 lands here, and I can't find the win. I just have both on Vampire Swamp, and I pack
Oh
it up. He's
man,
just gaining way too much life. And that was it. So Ben is our big grand champion on Elves, getting a little double victory there on the semifinals, finals
just
matches.
taking it, sweeping the quarters, the semis, and the finals. How do you feel post all that? Do you think that it just didn't run your way? Is that a bad matchup overall?
I mean, that's the funny part is that when I made the change to add the denizens the Wednesday night before this, I did face a different elves player, and it felt really good. And I just like sweeped him. It just felt super easy. But going into the matchup, I was thinking like, oh, like Elves again, we can do this. Like how hard could it be?
Right.
So I think a combination of is that game one, I might have been able to punch through if I had been a little bit more aggressive. That one's a little bit hard to say. Game two, I think I just didn't see the right combination of cards to combat what Ben was doing. Maybe there was some different combination to chip in for that one extra damage, right? I had him at one. He was basically dead,
Yeah.
but couldn't
Needed
quite
shambling
punch
gas, I
through.
guess, for the Quirions. Maybe that's just
Right?
it, you
Yeah,
know?
like I'm thinking that if he had an extra Timberwatch and one less Quirion Ranger, then he wouldn't be able to gain so much life on the later turns with the Well-Wisher. So maybe that was my fatal mistake, was not respecting Quirion Ranger enough. But it's certainly a card that has that has earned its salt score in my heart. I get a curse whenever I see Quirion Ranger going
Not
forward.
again. Yeah.
Oh, not you.
So do you want to talk about your channel? Are all your videos from the Calgary series?
They are, yeah. So I have a little YouTube channel. They're all just like paper recordings of our weekly events. I have a lot of Pauper stuff on there. Sometimes I dabble in other formats like Modern and Highliner and whatnot. Seems like the Pauper videos are doing better than the Modern ones, so I'm less incentivized to record Modern videos unless I have some sort of sweet brew to play over there. But
Yep.
yeah, you can check out my channel, Offbeat Hero. Just weekly paper Pauper videos. I'll have the rest of the videos from this event uploaded later this week. So one round for each of the rounds of the Swiss. So 5 videos there, plus 3 of our top 8 matches. 2s that you just saw. So you'll be able to watch those with the live commentary, since the players are mic'd up. We didn't want that playing over top of our own commentary. So you'll be able to hear my frustration maybe in my voice when that Quirion Ranger is causing me grief.
But no. Well,
Not the Well-Wisher. It's too much life. These stupid elves. Why is there so many of them?
yeah. All right. Well, congrats. That was Ben that took it down, right?
That was Ben. Congrats, Ben. He is our grand champion, the player to beat in Calgary. So you heard it here first. Evidently, he's the best player in Calgary. I mean, this was the premier event for.
And he's got the belt buckle.
Calgary
So.
and he's got the belt buckle too. So he's got the trophy to prove it that he can wear around.
Very, very nice. Well, thank you for coming. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think about some Paper Pauper. Do I need to work on my own commentary skills? Who knows? Hopefully it was enjoyable. And we'll see everybody else in the next video.
Bye-bye.